Hello, amazing, beautiful people. Oh my goodness, how exciting it is to be back here for season 4, episode 4. And today we're talking about multiplication. It's about dreaming big and achieving more, as Cam Calhoun would tell us. It's about your who's and not how's. It's about thinking about what you really want. Funny, because it follows on from last week's vision. Multiplication has to have a start point and it has to have something to start with, because 0 multiplied by 0 is still 0. Unhelpful. So last week we were talking about imagination and imagination being more important than knowledge. So we discussed that last week. And if you want to catch up, feel free to go and have a look at that. But imagination often leads to expansion, because we've got to expand our minds, we've got to expand our thinking, we've got to expand what we do right now, which is another word for multiplication. And it comes from when we stretch ourselves beyond our current limits and our understanding, making our current ceiling, so what is currently ahead of us, our new floor. So actually we have to step up, and that's what we stand on to go higher. I love it, because when we multiply, when we're looking at this, we really have got to go beyond our current limits and what we understand now and make it like what we thought was once impossible possible. So exciting doing this stuff. I love Teresa Cook's saying, and she shared it with us last year, I remember, on one of our calls. And she said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. And multiplication isn't one person. It's actually when we journey together, when we go we've got a shared vision, we've got a shared point of where we want to go, and we run in our lanes together. It's so cool. And it's so funny, the Bible says, and I'm going to really butcher this, so apologies to those of you who are proper theologians, but it says, go forth and multiply, take dominion over the earth, not over each other, by the way, over the earth, to make it fruitful and prosperous, to bring in the harvest. And this instruction was to go out into the world and use what we have in our hand now wisely, to use it for good, to use it to add value. I love it. And to use our skills and talents to put to good work. We're meant to work together in unity and one accord, not fight each other, but fit together and work together to achieve more. Oh, that's right. More is multiplication. Brilliant. And when we do that, we multiply and we live and we work better in more ways than one. And that brings me so much joy. And for me, multiplication is when each one of us is running in our lanes. When I'm doing my gift of encouragement and I'm empowering others and I'm putting wind in people's sails, I don't need to be the leader, but I'm just here to put wind in the sails of those who are. And when we do that, when we run in our lanes, doing what we're doing, running with others in lanes, doing what they do best, woo, everyone wins. And you know what? Together we achieve more. Remember, that's teamwork. Many entrepreneurs are great visionaries. They kind of see the unseen, they can see ahead, they can picture that. In fact, one of my clients that I've been coaching today, he is amazing. His dominant pillars, actually, his dominant pillar is musical. So he gets to feel stuff, see stuff, whatever. Then he's got his logical, mathematical, and interpersonal. He is made to feel, see, and work with and bring out the best, because he's got that logical, mathematical. I love it when they've got that visual, spatial, and the logical, because that's like, oh my goodness, that's like the best for a CEO, an entrepreneur. They can see it, but they've also got that logic. They've got that strategic thinking that goes in with it. It's flipping nuts when you get into this stuff, but it's so good, and it helps so many young people when they're deciding, where do I go to next? What do I do when I leave school? The subjects are going to change. What they want at the end of it is going to change. When you're able to help people see what their natural gifting is, where their lane is, what they'll be brilliant at, not necessarily whether they'll be an accountant or a rocket scientist or whatever, but what their zone is, what their lane is to run in. It's so much fun. But anyway, going back to our lovely entrepreneurs and great visionaries, they often start out like I did, having to do absolutely everything yourself. And trust me trying to work tech, me trying to work accounts, it was not a happy marriage, just quietly, just me on my own. And so, but what happens is as our businesses grow, we start to collaborate, we start to work with other people. Thank goodness I do have to still do my accounts at a basic level, but I have an amazing accountant that helps me with that. And I have others like my amazing husband who keeps tracks of some things for me. So, but we work together. Or what we might do is employ other people like my accountant, bookkeepers, could be website designers or marketing experts to help do the things that we're actually not that brilliant at. Let us run in our lane with others running in their lanes. Boom! Everyone wins. I love it. It's like that's how it should work. Now, Dr. Benjamin Hardy, one of my heroes, I have to say, has a book. He actually wrote it with Dan Sullivan. The partnership of those two. See, look at that. Collaboration, partnership of those two, gold. Wrote a book called 10X. It's about the 10X rule. 10X is better than 2X. And the reason was that 2X is coming from where I am now and stretching from what I know ahead of me. And it's because the old Sally will always pull me back because it's like, oh no, remember this. And so it's like almost like being in treacle. It's like, trying to free yourself and you get stuck. Whereas that 10X comes from the vision from last week. So it comes from looking ahead, going, oh my goodness, that is totally where I want to be. This is exactly what I want from my life. This is exactly what I'm called to do. Woo! Fire in my belly and I'm ready to go. That 10X is up there. I have not got a clue how to get there. Let me tell you, I have no idea how to write a book. Brilliant. Find editors, find the right people in their lanes, find a mentor. Boom, Jessie and Alicia, but we're amazing. Anybody wants help with that, I can give you the links and I'll put them in the show notes. But at the end of the day, whatever it is that you need, it's out there, but you need to know where you're going. You need to know what that is so you can run in your lanes and make it happen. And so 10X is where you literally, it's your new man, it's your new identity, it's your new way of thinking. It's like, oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Who would have thought I'd have been an international bestseller? That is like 10X. I never thought that was going to be on my radar. But anyway, it's all good. And then, so old men, 2X thinking, is where you change 20% of your life, which will probably bring you not very much, because you're still keeping the 80%. That's not doing very much. So the 20-80% rule, Dr. Benjamin Hardy uses this a lot, but it's that Pareto principle. 20% of what you do produces 80% of the results. So 80% of what we do produces 20% of the results. That's really unhelpful. So when we're doing 2X, we're kind of holding on to our safety net. We're kind of holding on to what we already know. And so we're holding on to 80% that produces 20%. When we're doing 10X, we have no choice. We only can keep our 20%. And the reason we can, that 20% that's producing our 80% becomes our new floor. So that's what we know. It's the best of what we know today, but we need to change 80% of our lives to get to that new goal. To get there, we need to change 80%. So it means massive transformation. It means thinking outside the square. It means being visionary. It means looking for people to help. It means looking for collaborations. It means looking for people who've got wisdom and insight that I don't have right now. And I love that with a book. I've got to really transform my life doing that. But there's also, when you get rid of that 80%, you are pruning. And that's horrible. No one wants pruning, just quietly, but it has to happen because you've got to cut off that 80% that wasn't serving you, that was comfortable, that was familiar, that we know, that we want to stay there. So it's uncomfortable cutting that off and going, right, okay, this is it. I'm going to take my leap of faith. So just as in the natural world, we prune the vines, we thin the trees, because we live in beautiful Hawke's Bay, and so it's amazing wine country, and we're one of the top apple producers in the world, and I've lived on an orchard, so I've watched them thin. And they do that to bring the best harvest, so that we can literally get the best crop, the best amount, the multiplication, get more, return on investment. I love it. And sometimes we have to do that. A multiplication at its best is playing the long game, as my grandfather would say. And it's looking at where we want to be and engaging others to help us get there. And that's another book by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Gee, I'm on a roll for him today, he wrote with Dan Sullivan. And that is the who, not how. Actually, no, he might have written this one on his own, to be fair. Who, not how. So instead of me trying to work out how to do my accounts, how to do my marketing, how to do videos, am I not better off finding someone who already does them, who I can employ to help me? Brilliant. So it's about being open to where we want to go. It's about looking ahead. And what I encourage you to do right now is take a moment to consider, one, where is your 10x? Where is, oh my goodness, if I could do that, or if I could be that, that would be like next level, off the spectrum for me personally. So that's your first thing, is to know where you want to go, who you want to be. The next thing is the uncomfortable bit. It's like, just consider where you might need to let go of some things that have served you in the past. So these things often have created the 80% in the past, but what got you here isn't going to get you there. So you now have to let go, because right now they're only giving you 20%, not the 80%. So their season and their time has come, and we have to honor that that was brilliant at the time, but we need to do more. And then where do you need to take that 10x leap of faith? It might be to engage in a collaboration. It might be to pay a coach to get the progress, to accelerate the progress, which is exactly what I did. I got a coach to help me write my book. A coach to accelerate the progress so you can bring the harvest in and get that multiplication. So you can then be the one who's got the 20% that produces the 80%. Now remember, you've got the original 20% produce the 80%, that's your floor, and now you're going to make it, or your ceiling, and then now you're going to make it your floor. And if you are serious about running in your lane with others, maybe you want to know what your lane really is. Well, come and join us at ANZAC Weekend. I have got a free event, and we are going to get clarity on your 10x over your 2x and discover your God-given lane so that you can run in it, so that you can be the best that you could possibly be. So come and join us. It's all free. Information's in the link with this. So have an amazing week, and I will look forward to seeing you for episode 5. God bless you. Let me know in the chat whether you like it, whether you don't like it. Give me a thumbs up, whether this has been helpful. It's always good to know. Have an amazing week. God bless.